nothing makes me more mad because I would say that unfortunately about 90% of hairstylists lift to tone and then send their clients out. The toner is the icing on the cake. It's not the cake itself.
You gotta trust the process. You gotta trust the process.
I want to pay for quality.
Yeah.
And I was willing to pay.
Consultations and test strands are our lifesaver.
We will work with what we can do to eventually get you to where you want to be.
My hair was like this long, and then we did the strand test, and half of it popped out.
Clients do not lie 99% of the time.
Red tones are the harder tones to get out of the hair. No matter what, I started watching you before I even graduated high school, before anything. Like, you and another stylist were the reasons why I chose to go to beauty school.
Size jet black. I want jet black.
Like, if you want to add a little bit.
A little bit.
We love tea time.
A little tea time. Are we on?
We're going. Okay.
Oh, we're going? Okay.
So Monday, I had a client come in and she brought her daughter who was, younger. She's getting ready for prom. She wants extensions. And her hair, she was naturally a level 7, which is a pretty light blonde, right?
Yeah.
But she had about this much root. And then the rest was brassy. Her ends were fried. And she's dousing her hair in purple shampoo. And the mom's not happy. The daughter's not happy. And the daughter's sitting there telling me, she goes, yeah, I have to put a lot of purple shampoo because then it's just brassy. And the mom is like, we've been to a few salons and everybody's just leaving her brassy and they're telling her to go home and just use purple shampoo. And I'm like, yeah, I hate that. Nothing makes me more mad because I would say that unfortunately about 90% of hairstylists lift to tone and then send their clients out. Yep. And so they're lifting them to a yellow and then they're toning them and it might look good for that day. And then in about a couple weeks, they're warm, they're brassy, they're pissed, and they're purple shampooing to get rid of it. Mm-hmm. And it's what blows my mind is that it's such a simple fix. Leave, saturate well, take thin sections, and then let them process.
That's why I like my vanilla.
Naturally. Let them process too. They all make fun of me, but
they made fun of me
They
too.
make fun of me.
Kaylin was just doing that the other day to me. I said, no, I love vanilla. She said she got that so installed in her. I said, she does.
Yes. Vanilla blonde. Because, to me, the toner is the icing on the cake. It's not the cake itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It makes sense.
And so these people, they freaking loved it. They were just like, this is what we've been waiting for. And you never judge a book by its cover. Yeah, you think she's young and maybe the mom doesn't want to spend money. Oh, no, they were ready to throw down. Yeah. And that's the point right now that I'm trying to stress to a lot of hairstylists out there. People are willing to pay the money if you bring it, if you do the work. If you're going to do half-ass work, they're not going to come back. What are your guys' thoughts?
No, it's true. Honestly, picking back on what you said about last client, my client today, she came back with the toner because her previous toner just washed out. Obviously a toner washes out. She goes, I love the fact that my hair doesn't look orange right now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And she was still a brunette. We were still, she was still a caramel color, but she still didn't lift orange or yellow. Mm-hmm. And that's what she liked. She was like, as it was washing out, it was not a color that I didn't like. And that's the best part that I appreciate, the fact that you taught me how to live past that level. Because that's one thing that I know that I didn't learn anywhere. I didn't learn it in beauty school. I didn't learn it in my previous salon, how to lift to vanilla.
I think.
Because I was so scared to do it. Because I would only see the yellow and I'd be like, all right, it's ready. Because that's what I was taught. That's what it was all taught.
Mm-hmm. I remember when I first started and you were like, is it vanilla? I'm like, I don't know what vanilla is.
No, literally.
What are you talking about? I was so lost.
So was I.
So that just made me think about that because I didn't learn it nowhere but here. So I was so lost about a lot of stuff when I started.
What is vanilla? What color is vanilla?
And you just walked away.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Walk away. One thing about mid walk away and one thing about Leda, I walk away in front of a client before.
She left me with the test strand console or that lady.
If the console don't be sounding right, Leda will walk away.
No, for real.
Nothing makes me happier than throwing y'all to the wolves.
We know that.
You really do. That's how I felt. You threw me.
She when I tell you she throw you, it's not just a little push.
Like,
no,
it's like,
she will
when
throw
they
you down
like-
the cliff, and then you don't even realize like you're already
You
down.
know when they do like the mom have to like kick the bird out the bird's nest.
Yes.
She like be throwing
Yes.
that
No,
down.
literally.
Like,
You can't
dangling
fly.
nuts.
Good luck.
I told her in my interview, oh yeah, I have experience. I worked in other salons. She was like, okay. First day, she was like, okay, Perla, you got this, right? I was like, do I?
That's why you gotta watch what you say.
Like, do I?
She'll take it and run with it. Literally.
I will say though, the only thing that I didn't get that was like the one thing that would kill me working here was the fact that Leda does not care about the timing.
Oh no, she don't.
No.
That annoyed
Oh
me.
my
so
But
God.
that
much in
made
the
me better
beginning.
though. Feel better because
Well,
I
yes,
was slow.
it's great. It's great that she doesn't care about the timing. But me as a perfectionist,
Yeah.
as being like, oh, like I need things to be in a scheduled thing. So I would turn around and I'd be like, okay, so how long am I leaving this toner on for? She'd be like, just
Oh,
watch it.
She didn't have no time frames for
Watch
nothing.
it.
Yeah,
Watch
you're
it
right.
to do
Just
what?
watch
Yeah.
why?
Just
Like,
watch
what am I
it.
watching? Like,
And
it's
I
like
be
Looking at Sam and Callum like,
Is it
is
good?
it good? Like, Sam
I
be all the
rinse
way
it?
at his station, like nodding, like he
Nah,
be
yo,
looking
but
for me. I'll be like,
honestly,
Sam
now-
did help me. I ain't gonna lie, he did.
now that I'm a stylist, like when I was assistant, that would kill me. Now that I'm a stylist, I have to walk away.
Yeah.
Like if I don't walk away and I'm just there watching it, it's like, what do you call me? You always say a little saying whenever I'm there. You're like, it's like
It's like
watching.
watching a pot boil.
Oh, yeah,
the
she's
water
like-
boil.
She's like, Perla, it's like you're watching water boil. I'm like, Leda, I hate waiting, and I'm
That's
scared that
how
if
I
I
be
leave, it's
too.
gonna overtone. But you gotta trust the process. You gotta
Yeah.
trust the process.
It's hard to trust
Especially
the
with
process as a
shades.
stylist, like yourself. Like,
Especially with shades.
Yeah.
Like today with that caramel, it started turning green in the like first 2 minutes, and then it went into a little bit of gold, and then it went into a little. I was like,
it changes like
See,
right
I
in front of
don't-
your eyes. Like, I'm kidding you. Like,
wait,
it does.
wait, what was it? What level was it?
shades. I use a level 7.
It turned green.
Yeah,
It started
be
green.
doing
Like
that.
the color
I'm
mixture.
scared of shades.
The color mixture
scared
turns
of
green. Like
shades.
it turns different colors.
For real,
and then I
like
wash it out and it was
purple.
perfect.
I'd be like, oh my god, what
Pink.
red? I'd be like, Jesus, what is
This
going
is-
on?
Sometimes
This
I'd be
is
doing
why
some
I-
ashy color and it looks orange
and
on
then
top
it'd be
of it.
perfect though. And like when we're done, it's like okay. But
This is
you
why I
gotta
don't
trust
mess
the
with
process.
Redken.
Yeah, it's
I don't
Nah,
mess with
but the
Redken
thing
shades.
is, I will
It's
say
trippy.
Redken is still top notch. Though.
It
like,
is.
like I love Wella, I really do. But Redken just makes it look so shiny and like I don't know, it's giving it like a good
I
like
can't
finisher.
describe.
It makes the finisher look so much better because it makes it shiny, and then with the bonding technology, like you can see a bigger difference.
Yeah.
Shades, it's great. Like I mean, Wella is great. I love Wella, but I feel like that one is not. It's very matte. Like there's no shine to it. And me personally, I like the shiny look because clients are like, "Oh my god, look! Like I'm blonde and it's still shiny."
Yeah.
With Wella, it's not really giving that. It will give you the tone that you want.
That is true.
It's just not as
Without
shiny.
the games.
Exactly.
Yeah. it's the easy way out. It's the easy way out. I'm not gonna
No,
lie.
well, Wella, yeah,
It's
Wella,
easy.
you can trust the process, and you know,
Right.
I have-
it's hard. Like you
know.
can't trust.
I have one formula.
Yes.
With Wella.
Ready?
Wait,
Let's all
say
say it at the same time.
Okay.
Wait, which one are we starting off? The lightest color or the darkest one?
The lightest.
The lightest.
Okay, 881.
Mm-hmm.
Bex, which one is the other one?
Her favorite, just slap a
9-0.
9 on it.
Bro,
slap a 9 on it.
903 and 106.
Yep.
Those are her three colors.
Yes. Mhm.
Anytime you wonder what Leda's using, 881, 903, and 106.
I could literally supply the whole salon with just that and be okay.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
would be
she
okay with
would be
that. But then what about all our caramels that don't need all of like, the top three?
Like, yeah, the blinding we got.
Yeah. When it comes to blonding, I will say our blonding is a
Yeah.
complete different
I
level
think
of
we all
blonding.
got
Well,
that.
I think a big takeaway from all of this, if you're a client listening, is that we don't just slap bleach on the hair. We are very, very
It's like blonding with intention.
precise. Yes,
Mhm.
precise with it. We don't let our clients sit under heat. So sometimes our
No.
appointments are longer. However, you're going to get the look you want that's going to last. And yeah, we're probably a little bit more expensive than most salons.
In our
However,
area.
we're going to spend the time on you to get you what you want. How many times have you left the salon disappointed? I know y'all have, because even I go to nail salons and sometimes I leave disappointed, even though I know, you know, technically I'm licensed to do nails. We all are.
Yeah.
And so
I
I know what goes into it. And when I see some steps being, you know, missed, or like the other day, I'm not gonna lie, I went in and I said, "Can you cut my cuticles down?" And
I never trust them to do that.
well, I
Yeah, I'm
trusted her to
scared.
do it, but I wanted her to take it with like a clipper,
The cute
and she
butter.
just took the drill, and I was like,
Oh no.
red
Oh
flag.
my Jesus.
And then there was a couple other little things that I was like, yeah, I won't be back to her. And it's just, I want to pay for quality.
Yeah.
And I was willing to pay. But if I don't get the quality service, if you're going to treat me like I'm paying cheaper, then why should I go to you?
Yeah.
Is the whole point.
I will say one thing I do appreciate about our salon is how honest we are with our clients.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because, well, you guys know me. I am like me personally. I am very honest, and I do it because whenever I was the one on the chair, I didn't know what was happening in my head. I didn't know what was going on. So I do like to ask questions, and I do like to explain. Okay, you want this color? This is what it's gonna wash out to. Are you okay with this?
Mhm.
Like, I like the fact that we take the time to do the consultations.
Mhm.
Because if with no consultations, we're not going to be able to know exactly what the client wants. I don't understand how a consultation is not like as important in
big
other
it is,
places, because
yeah.
it really is not.
Or test strands.
That was the next thing that I was
included.
gonna say.
Yep.
Consultations and test strands are our life savior, and that is something that I truly appreciate.
That is
Like
true.
that's what you engraved in
And
your
maybe
head.
May,
as
can you
assistants.
chime in here? So May is in the back right now, but she'll be on the next podcast. But you have a lot of clients. She's a receptionist at Tone Hair Salon, and she has a lot of clients that call up and they want to skip that consultation. You want to talk into Becca's? Just sit on her lap.
I was
It'll be
gonna
fine.
say like that's
Come
what we
on.
do on the
Grab
regular.
her, pretend
anyway.
we're like at lunch.
That did not sound right.
Do what we do.
Bring it closer.
Bring this
All right,
closer?
y'all.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically, people, sometimes don't want to take that extra step or take that extra time to come into the salon, but it is extremely necessary because we don't know how long the service is going to take or what we need to do to get you to where you want to be through the phone. You know what I mean? Until we
Yes.
actually take a look at your hair. Like, you can describe to me what you want as much as you can, but until you show us like a photo or talk one-on-one about budgets too, like we will work with what we can do to eventually get you to where you want to be, or like
Exactly. I give them the whole 10
or
nine
be
yards.
able to do it in that one session, but we're not going to be able to know that until we talk to
Exactly.
you guys.
Yeah.
And I think
You know
there's
what
a
I
few
mean?
things that we cannot give price over the phone simply for the fact that we don't know where
yet.
you're starting
Yeah.
with. We don't
Your
know where
hair
you want to go
history.
to.
It's not the same for every client either.
And
It's
how many
tailored.
times have we done a test strand on somebody's hair and the ends are fried off?
Yeah.
And it happened the other day to me.
Yeah.
A client came in with dark hair. She said she's been just putting dark on her hair for a while. She wants to go to like something very achievable. It was like a caramel. I was like, sure. No, it was auburn.
It was red. Yeah,
like,
it was like a
yeah.
red color.
She could do that. So I was like, I almost said, you don't need a test strand. So I did the test strand. I used 20 volume, which is a standard 20 volume, very low considering like, a regular bleach out, whatever, highlight. I left her for 45 minutes, no heat. Peeled that off and 5 inches was gone.
Yep.
And we really don't know. I think that she maybe had previous highlights and forgot about them, which that was 5-6 years ago. But babe, that was still on your ends. And so
Yeah. They don't understand
They
that.
don't
It's
realize
still,
that
like,
it stays.
it's still in your
It
hair. Like,
stays.
Yes.
just because it's not on the surface. It's,
Mhm.
that's
Like
what I would
me,
say. It's not
I-
on the surface.
I used to have highlights. I used to be blonde. I used to have different shades
Same.
of blonde, and then I went through life crisis.
Same.
Depression, like whatever. It was girl time. I just wanted to go. I needed to change.
Yeah.
And moving to North Carolina a month later was not enough. So then I texted May and Becca, and I was like, "Hey, girls, like we're coloring my hair tonight."
My hands.
Even I had just
Turned-
gotten like
Really?
a month
Yeah.
before.
Just
Oh
got
my
that.
God. I told you I was going through it. I was not playing. I was going through it. Guys, I'm telling you, you can go through it. Do not go
I
black.
say we don't blame you
don't.
though. We're not blaming the client.
Yeah,
It's just
I don't
like,
blame you. I
you
don't
have
blame
to be honest, because if not, it's going to end up
Anyways,
worse.
I'm letting you guys know, as a stylist myself, who has been in this industry for almost 4 years. Almost 4 years. I colored it with a toner, just black. And then every 4 weeks I was coloring with a toner. Like, even though it was not a permanent color, but my hair was blonde under it. We did a strand test. What happened? My my hair was like this long, and then we did the strand test, and half of it popped out
Mhm.
because we can't see where the previous highlights were.
Mhm.
So right now, I'm suffering the consequences and have to have my hair dark,
Yeah.
and I hate the fact that
That's
it
how it
is this
goes.
dark. But I
Same.
love my hair. I'm loving my
Same.
hair. I like it, but it's just not black enough. It's either have to be black or it has to be
Okay,
blonde.
I definitely
Right
know about
now,
the black.
it's not black enough. I get the
I
people that don't
testify.
think that their hair is not that black. Drinking
I testify with the blackness
Yeah,
because
there
I
needs to
was
be
just
black.
looking at my hair and I was like, still not black
like I
enough.
want it to be a level 1. I do not want it a 3. I wanted a 1.
I wanted a 1.
I
I
want a
wanted
1.
whatever, you know how the box dyes jet black? I want jet
Jet
black.
black.
I
Like
want
if you want
jet
to add a
black.
little blue to it, so
Right,
that it can
where
look
it's
a little bit
of-
more dark. That's what I like. But we
Mhm.
can
I
be
think
blonde.
one of the biggest thing that I see in the comments after we do these strand test videos are hairstylists commenting saying, well, they shouldn't have lied. And I want to say this, and I want to be very clear. Clients do not lie 99% of the time. Yes, there are a few that squeeze in there and totally BS you, but most of the time they forget, right?
They don't know better.
don't
They
know,
don't
like,
know
they
what we're
forget,
talking about. They don't know the
literally.
terms. They
And
and that's why
that's-
you need that consultation.
And that's
that
why we need to be
consult-
honest
yes.
with them about the entire thing. Like my clients, that they're like, my client today, she was like, "Oh, do you think I could do some ginger tones?" I was like, "You could definitely do ginger tones, but there might be a high chance that I'm gonna have to deal with that whenever you want to go brighter, because red tones are the harder tones to get out of the hair. No matter what, red tones are always gonna leave some type of residue in there, and it's going to be something that we're gonna have to battle." So I explain it to my clients. You want that? Okay, just know that in the future, this is gonna be a consequence that we're gonna have to go through. You're done for that? I'm done for it. I don't care. I'll do whatever you want, but as long as you, at least now you know it.
You know, right?
Exactly.
You tell them
at
the
least
whole
now you
everything.
know it. Because if you don't know, then how are you gonna know for the next time? My
Exactly.
life motto. What's my life motto? I always say, I'm like, if I haven't said it, no. Guys, hold on. It just went blank. It just went blank.
Like, I know.
But my life motto is
She be
something
saying
like,
too much sometimes. I
Yeah,
know I
yes.
can't say probably what she says.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
no, but I'm
Which
always
motto?
I get lost in the sauce.
I'm always like, if you don't know, then you have no excuse to ask for it. You know, like if I say something, if I expect something from you and you don't tell me something, then why would I expect it? Like if I'm not communicating it, there's no need for me to expect it. Now that it's being communicated, there's no excuse for the client to not know the future. So that's my point. Like I like to explain the fact that if something's being explained in the future, you cannot blame the stylist, you cannot blame anything. You have to be straight up. And that's why, honestly, honesty is the best policy. That's it.
All right, let's talk about a little bit tea that I have.
Oh,
Tea.
Little tea. I have a little tea.
We love
A little
tea time.
tea, a little
Tea
tea
time.
time.
Tea time.
And it has to do with test strands. So
Okay.
yesterday, this girl, local hairstylist, posted a video, and I knew it was about me. Like I'm not that conceited in my head, but there's something that I do in my
About this
videos
tea time.
about what.
I said, I know about this tea time.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I do.
So about 5-6 years ago, on TikTok, I started making test strand videos, and little did I know, like the first couple of videos, I said test strand, but the fact of the matter is, it's not a test strand. Test strand's not really a word; it's a strand test, and so I just kept with it. I was just like,
But
I'm
that's
just
a
gonna,
key important.
It's very
factor.
key important factor.
You guys saw my face though, right?
Yeah, you was like, that don't matter. It doesn't,
It-
but
it does
does
matter.
to this point.
I
So
mean, I
anytime
guess to
I
that
see a video
person.
that says test strand, I kind of know. I'm like, okay, that was, maybe they saw my stuff or whatever. But this one was very specific. And she literally puts in her video, this is why I take chunks of hair from my client's head, cuts it off, and puts it on a foil to test it. Kind of like not bashing me, but contradicting what I'm saying.
All right, question.
Mhm.
Did she like cut it off, or was it with like a texturing scissor?
I think
know.
she cut
really
it off.
cut it off.
It was
and that's the
chunks.
funny thing about it,
Ew.
because Leda don't actually really cut out. Like that was just her what she said. Like,
Yeah,
and
no.
so they really
It was coming at me. Okay, let's just
Y'all,
say that.
after this, I'm gonna know
they
who this person
misinterpret it,
is.
but try to recopy.
That's
So-
crazy.
And I get, like, if you want to texturize the hair to get those pieces of hair to put it on a strand, fine. If
But
you really
cut
want
off
to do
a
that.
piece?
But I'll tell you the reasoning, you guys, this is for clients and hairstylists. The reason that I don't believe in cutting the hair off the scalp is because it processes very differently. I've done enough test strands at home where with extra hair, I've played around with it, whatever. It processes differently. Also, like just the basic, like washing it, taking, shampooing it out, putting the toner on, whatever you need to do, you're gonna lose some hair. I've lost test strands down the drain before.
Literally.
Like that sucks.
Maybe.
But the biggest thing is the client sitting there with it on their scalp, knowing, okay, it's been 45 minutes and this is what it's gonna look like. Or they have that gold piece that came up, or it's fried on the ends, and they're like, oh, I don't want that on my hair. I don't like that. So let's go to different option. Instead of taking it off and then calling them back, hey, so it's orange. You know, like, then what?
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, then what?
They can't see the result.
So this girl literally came at me for absolutely no reason. And it's somebody that I actually thought was doing really, really well. She does a lot on social media. She teaches classes. And so I'm like, I already know, like, right off the bat.
I need to know who
If
this is.
somebody
I know
is
the
coming
comments are
after
probably
me on
thinking the
something
same
like
thing.
this, they ain't got nothing really going on. Because the fact that they have to come after me for a test strand is actually crazy. But anyway, they contradicted what I was saying and just cut off a chunk of hair. And this is where it comes together. They called it a test strand instead of a strand test. And I was like, yeah.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I never even thought about like strand test, strand. Who cares? Same thing, different
But
shade.
the only reason I know what she's talking about when I watched the videos, because it sounded just like one of the videos that I've seen of Leda's that was a long time ago. That
So
sounded
they
just
did it like they were
It
throwing
sounded-
shade. They
it
were like,
sounded-
let me make it like a similar tone too.
Yeah, like,
just
it
so
literally
that
sounded like, I was like, this looks like one of your videos. Low-key, like literally writing on the foil, everything. It was the whole 9 yards.
But when I tell you, Perla, nobody said test strand before I started making test strand videos. Nobody. It wasn't a thing. So now you may see it more, but
Yeah.
I think, and I'm not.
I mean, I started watching you when you were doing this trend, like test strands. Now, see, now you got me messing up. Now you got me messing up. I never questioned it till today. Now I'm
See,
gonna be
I
questioning
think
it.
I don't even
just
know
think
what
it's
I don't even know what
I
I,
just say
ever was
both of
saying.
them.
What was I saying?
I say
Do
I don't
anybody
know.
know?
I didn't. I
Test
never
strand,
thought
strand
about
I
it.
was saying
test.
test strands the whole time.
I've
I
always said
swap
test
'em.
strand. What do you say? Strand test? No, test strand.
Is it really?
I accidentally, when I tell you I got so much shit when I put out a video saying test strand, and everybody was like, it's not a test strand, it's a strand test.
Really?
Yo,
I think
who
I've always been
cares?
saying that. I think
But-
you might not have been the only one, but they pointed you out. Because I
They
feel like I might
did.
have
Bro,
always
like
said
I'm not
that.
gonna lie, people on social media really be focusing on like the smallest little
smallest
things. Like
detail.
someone can post
Like-
like the best video and then be like, "Did you see the person in the back?" Like they would look for like zooming into details. And
Literally.
like, I can't
Anyways,
even
I think the
tell.
whole point of it was the fact that she was just trying to make a video to contradict what I was saying without understanding why I do what I do. There's a reason that we have clients coming in, and there's a reason that we do it on their scalp. First off, who wants to have a chunk of hair missing? I don't. I don't even care if you texturize it. I don't want hair missing. Every piece of my hair is valuable. Okay.
Facts. Facts. I know you facts.
You and
Especially
me.
since the poop I've been on. Okay. I'm trying not to curse.
Really?
Yo, this is like Alita's hardest thing to
It is. I hate not cursing. But like in June, you guys all know this. My hair got fried. It got fried off like terribly. And thank God I was oblivious to it. Perla even says, she's like, I don't even know how you were going. And I was like, I was
in my defense, I would tell her, Lily, let's do a treatment on you. I would make sure she knew without knowing, but she didn't listen.
I did. I was just
so
like,
you knew before
I
she
knew.
knew.
Yes. I was, what do you think? Tell everybody. I've made her buy like 5-7 different shampoos and conditioners and
Did.
everything because of this entire situation.
I didn't realize how fried my hair was up until probably like a couple months ago. I
Yeah.
was looking back at videos thinking, wow, my hair was really fried. It was really bad. So like, again,
Yeah.
I don't want anybody taking texturizing shears to cut off any of my beautiful, like the curls that I got going on right now. I would not want somebody cutting that off. I would rather have a test strand done in my hair.
Yeah.
Strand test. Whatever you want.
I will
Anyways,
say though, just like I said it before, you rocked that hair like there was no tomorrow. Like you did not question it. You were still confident. Like I was like,
She was.
at the end
She
of the day,
was.
like no matter what people thought, like you were still doing it with confidence. So like nobody questioned it.
until I
didn't
look back at
question
the
it.
videos, which I've taken down because there were some videos where my hair was just so. I was doing a curly hair video with my fried ass.
Well,
hair.
I mean, I knew, I thought,
I was like, I thought you knew, but you chose to just deal with
because
it.
you do be like,
Because you are like, you are very confident.
You are,
like,
even when the colors wasn't matching, you was still.
to get the straight pieces to curl.
I remember the
I
day
wanna-
she FaceTimed me and literally.
girl, I still have that
Chuck
picture.
that
Like, I'm
piece
still
off.
wrapped about that.
When though she came in the next day,
Calls
she
me
was
and
like,
goes,
and I was like,
I said, right now? Like, right now?
I was like, no
She
way.
said, yeah, watch this.
I was like, no way. I saw the picture. I was like,
I said, "Oh wow."
I will say though, wouldn't you guys love the way I did? my
No,
hair?
it looks so good now, though,
Yes.
y'all. Like, even though
Yeah.
it always looked good, it did.
I feel like I did the absolute best I could yesterday. And I brought some products, but I'll tell you guys what I've been obsessed with is the Carousel saved my life. But it didn't do anything for me when my hair was fried. I will say that. My hair had to get a little bit healthy before I started using it. Where it made a difference. And then
Honestly, that's a good point. Some people don't realize. They'll be like, oh, this product didn't work in my hair. It's not that it didn't work. You might just not need it. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just need something either stronger or something that's a little less strong. Like, there's people that are constantly saying,
or your hair's
Yeah, I
so
was
far
saying,
bad.
mhm.
that, like, that's what I'm saying.
My
Like,
hair was so far bad that
Yeah.
it
It
wasn't doing
it wasn't even
anything.
doing anything. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the thing with products. Like,
You
you,
gotta figure
really
out the
have
stage,
to buy
where you at, what if it works
the
for
hair
your hair
texture
type.
that you have, the
Mhm.
chemical like damage that's been gone through. Like, there's different things, specific things the products are for that you need to look out for.
May, can
Which
you
is
bring me
why
that
it's good
bag
to
right
ask
behind
your
you, please?
stylist which product they
Yeah.
recommend.
Mhm.
You know, and that's what I always say to my clients. I tell you guys, no, you guys have full access to me to text me, hey Perla, is this product good? Because at the end of the day, that's the best way.
Speaking of products,
you.
I've been selling products, Leda.
I
I'm
did
so
see
proud of
that.
you.
I
I'm
actually did see
proud
that
of
this
you.
week.
Actually, I forgot to tell you. I need to let you guys know we there's a new date for the Orbe, so
Okay,
I need
cool.
to let everybody know because I wanted Kaylin to be here. So
This
Mhm.
is the Carousel that has really changed my hair a lot. I do a mask at least once a week, and I freaking love this stuff. It's like butter. But
that's
I feel
what
like
we use on you.
I see it in the salon. I thought I saw it in the salon at one
Mhm.
time, but
this
Yeah,
has
it's
changed
good.
my life.
quick because we use it.
I
Clients love
see
it.
it
and
at like 1 point.
And then Olaplex, believe it or not, Olaplex has a curly line, and they have a step
Yeah, they
like
just
1
came out
through
with it.
5.
Hmm.
And this is just one of the steps. This is just like a curl gel.
Mhm.
I use the whole Olaplex line for my curls today, and with also this mask as my
It
conditioner.
looks like very like moisturized, but still curly. Like, Yeah,
Mhm.
it's good.
yeah. So
Olaplex is really good for people like you that have like very blonde hair. That's the thing. Like, there's people that like their hair is not that blonde and they're using Olaplex. Olaplex is for those type of people that have
Okay.
very blonde porous hair because it's gonna add the protein that your hair needs.
Mhm.
Once it does what it does, it's not gonna work anymore, and that's what it does. Every other brand is the same thing.
Yeah, I don't
That's
know
why
much
it's
about
good to be
Olaplex.
alternating the brands, and that's why I keep telling you, like, Lee, like, you gotta be switching off. And the fact that you are, I'm proud of you. I'm very proud of you. Like, you've been getting a lot good with products. She's not touching your hair that much. We're guys, this is a lot
But we
for
gotta
Leda.
still make sure
It's
the
a lot for
products is
Leda.
very organic because we on our health
Mhm.
and
Health journey.
holistic ways.
I can't get over the fact that I didn't know my hair was curly until 43 years old. Like, that's actually insane.
I can't get over that boy's hair, that line that he had brought in. The base.
mhm.
Yeah,
Is it
I
that?
forgot the name
You should
already.
try that because that was a good
Well, do you know his name?
ingredient.
Do you remember his name?
It might be good product.
Kaylin's Taste.
No, I just know
Base?
the
That's
line
his
was
name?
named Base.
No,
I don't know
his name's
name.
Adam.
Oh, I was gonna
Yeah,
say,
I don't know.
If you see this, comment whichever brand it was because I don't remember it.
Base.
Yes.
Base.
I'm
We
commenting right
shout you
now.
out.
Okay, she's commenting. She's like right here, based.
All right,
wanna
what
know
else
more
do
about
we have
that.
on that list there?
Guys, if you guys didn't know, I am very organized in my brain.
I'm gonna take a little peek at my phone.
Yeah, so why did we choose Tone Hair Salon to work there?
Yes, good question.
I chose Tone Hair Salon because
Oh, my nephew's watching me. Hey, Faye. Hey, Faye, baby.
wait, I forgot that we were live. I could have told Alan that we were live right now. He thought that we were gonna post it later.
Make him wait.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait.
Lily.
The way that you said
let me
it.
think. I honestly chose hair stuff.
Okay.
English.
Slay. Slay.
I chose Tone Hair Salon because of how fun it looked online. Like because you guys, I told Lita and I told all of them before, I was talking with them. Like I was strategically, like I got my place in this place in a very specific way. I knew she started following me the day that we were thinking of moving. And then that was like, wait, North Carolina? Like she wasn't the initial idea, but she was the like one of the reasons why we moved here. And then it didn't say that they were hiring. And then a month later, we were looking at all the places. Like you could see it in one of our all lists because Becca and I were the ones that were choosing in our list. We had like 5 different salons. You were like the third, second salon that we had in that list. And then I was like, okay, well, the second that I was looking for a job, because it took me like a little while to look for it, you said we were hiring. I was
For
like,
a receptionist.
For a receptionist. So there I
then you
was.
got 3.
There I was.
They did
I
all
was
come
like,
through
you know what? I'm
the
gonna
door.
get in this place one
One by
way or
one.
another. That's the day that I was like, I don't care if I have to go down a position. I don't care what I have to do, but I'm gonna move my way up. So when I went into there, I told Leah, I was like, yeah, you're the reason why we moved here.
Yeah, I can't believe you were about to work as a receptionist. And stuff.
Yes.
No,
That's
and then
crazy.
we were like, why was she? And we were like literally speaking for you. We was like, well, just hire her because you were saying you had somebody else.
Yeah.
And we was like, well, hire her as the receptionist and hire her as your assistant. And I didn't mean right away, but that did like
And
push
then
me
you push you
away. So, but granted,
Yeah.
I'm happy to be on the floor.
Exactly. No, so then whenever it was time to like get in there, I went in on my first day. I thought I was going in for receptionist. I was mentally prepared to be a receptionist. She goes, actually, you're gonna be my personal assistant. I was like, okay. She was like, yes, Perla, like you there's no way
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep you as a receptionist. We had another receptionist in that moment. I knew since it was
Sweetheart.
beginning.
Time.
Sweetheart.
I had already
No.
been
Sweetheart.
I knew since the
Can't be
beginning
like
because
that.
since I have previous experience, I knew that since this was her first time working in the industry, it was just a lot. Whenever it's your first time working in the hair industry, it's a lot because you don't realize how much it actually comes down with. People think it's just fun and games. It really isn't. It's
And then
hard.
remember she created
I
a
didn't know
cash
she was
app
a
with the
receptionist
salon
ever, though.
number.
Oh yeah, that was weird. That was really weird too.
Bro.
Apparently, like she created like a cash app, like
Yeah,
under
yeah,
like the
I remember
salon.
that.
Like she used the salon's information for a cash
Lita
app.
really believed.
When Lita had
Lita was
given
so
us,
bad.
she told me, that's the funny thing is that Lita, that's how we figure out 2 and 2
Mhm.
because Lita told me that day, she was like, Perla, I encourage you to make a cash app so that if there's any tips that you need to get, they're gonna go straight to you. I was the assistant. She was the receptionist.
Mhm.
So then Lita calls me and she was like, hey, did you get confused?
Right.
Like she calls me. She was like,
So
did you
maybe
get
she thought
confused?
she
Like, did you
thought
think?
you meant her too? Was she in
No,
the
because
chat?
she was directly speaking to me. There's
Yeah.
no way that
There
you're going to
was-
confuse that.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that was clear as day then.
Yeah.
Yes, Lita. That's why when Lita called me, she was like, "Hey, did you get confused and make one under the salons?" Like, which if you did, it's fine. I'm just making sure that I meant it. It's like a personal way. I was like, no, I haven't
That
even
was a
created
little
one to
weird.
begin with. And she was like, "Okay, well then we got to figure this out." And then like 3 days later, it calls me and she was like, "Just so you know, the person's not here anymore." And then I was like, "Oh, I knew that was not gonna last." She was like, "You knew?" I was like, "Yes, I knew." Like some signs are just
We
very
all
clear.
know. Yeah.
That girl
We
was
be
so
talking,
bad.
we be like gathering, like we be kind of almost making bets. We did that with them.
Yeah. But hey, A for effort. She tried. She really tried. It's just if you're not really passionate about it, it's hard for you to get it. And that's really what it comes down to. For the people that are out there that do want have an interest in the hair industry, I would say start off as a receptionist because that's how you started off. That's how you realize what it's like. But at the same time, if you're not into it, it's hard. It really is hard.
I think the wildest part after all of that was the mom texting me like about letting her daughter go. I was like,
Isn't
You
she?
know,
She was 22.
she was 22. I was like, even my son who's 16 that's working right now, I don't get involved.
Yeah.
You're 16, you're with your employer. You guys have your own thing.
Literally.
I'm not going to
cannot
be the
believe she
mom.
told her
That's,
mom.
that's just a red flag right there.
Yeah.
And I will tell you guys this too. I've had some moms reach out to me about employment for their children. No.
Have their
ma'am.
kids
Yeah,
do
because
it.
if
No,
your
ma'am.
mom's
If
doing
they
that for you,
cannot-
If your mom
then
is
it-
doing that for
no.
you, we're not
you
going to get
still
along.
don't know how to be an adult.
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
need to be
You need to
working
know
by
how to
yourself.
communicate
No,
properly
literally.
for you to have any
You be
type
working
of
with your
job.
mama,
Whether it's
yes.
in the hair industry, whether it's in any type of industry, once you're past the age of 16, you are responsible for your job. Your parents are not there watching you.
And I
Your
have-
parents cannot defend how you're working because they're not there.
I have had a few like 16 to like 18-year-olds email me and they're so respectful and they're like, hey, is there anything I could do in the salon? I would love to, be reception, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh, I'd love to have you, but I am looking for somebody licensed right now. So I love those kids. Those kids, I'm like, yes, you are going somewhere. But the ones that send their parents to get their job,
Yeah, I was up and running 16, probably 15.
Yo, my
with a
first
working
job was
permit.
at
Literally.
14 at Dunkin' Donuts. I
Literally.
still remember the job like you couldn't even see me because I was so tiny. You couldn't see me past the thing. My family came and visited me. My family came to visit me on my first day. You see like 12 different people. All right, guys. I was not that tiny. I was tiny. But you see, grab it. My mom was like, I could tell it was you because of your hat. I was like, really?
Because of your hat.
Are you kidding me? Everybody was wearing a hat. It was only 12 people coming in. And I was like, oh my God, we're so busy. It was my third day and I was over here like shaking on the chair and I was like, we're so busy. It's my entire family. My entire family with their phones recording me on my first day as I'm shaking.
That is so cute. Do we have any of those videos?
I actually don't know. Well, I don't. Let me text my mom.
that would be so
I'll ask
cute.
my
They
mom.
probably like,
If we could, Solomon, if we could insert that video.
I'll
of
ask my mom. All I know is that I was
probably were
not.
like, Perla
You
smile.
see, Perla, I was so tiny. The apron was literally up
That is
like
too
below
cute.
my knees, and the hat was like still big on me because I was just so tiny.
I
could still
hated
talk,
those
though.
aprons though, because Taco Bell did have those long aprons. Like,
Yeah,
literally.
And it was a brown apron. It was not cute. Duncan, I love you, but your outfits are just not it. I'm telling you, they're not.
They should be
cute.
pink, not brown.
I actually know
All right,
that.
let's talk about,
pink?
let's talk
Let's
about
go
how
work at
Becca got her
Dunkin'.
job here.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
So
Becca.
basically, Perla kept talking to me about talking to Leda about me and being like,
No,
"Oh,
hold on.
Becca."
I snuck Becca in through parties.
Yes,
The
we're gonna
entire
get to
summer.
that.
That is exactly.
Yes.
That is right. Because we knew
Yes.
you before you
Yes,
even
literally. And then every time you guys saw me, I had a different hair color.
Yes.
Yep.
But
That is true.
I was sneaking my way in. I was talking to Leda, being besties, getting on the TikTok, sneaking my way in. And then she was like, "Oh, we have a dematting. Like, do you want to run the live?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?"
You started
So-
moderating the
Yes,
live.
yes,
That's
yes.
really what I
Moderating the live.
forgot.
Yes.
It was
at
like
home first.
I don't. Which one
Yeah,
was
I did them at
first?
home first.
moderating
It was
It was at the
both.
same time.
Okay.
Yes.
So I did the lives at home
Now
first.
she hates
and
monitoring
I
the
hate-
lives.
hate
Well,
it.
because in moderating
She
the lives
lied.
at home, it's only through like blocking people, making sure that
Yeah,
they
it's
sell
fun
it.
at home. You can be on the couch eating, like whatever. But in the salon, you have to like be standing and like
Becca
talking
be
to
like-
them, moving the camera.
Becca be
Where
like,
are you guys from?
Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
From the beaches.
How are you guys? Where you guys live? But I started moderating that day, and then ever since that day, I haven't left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all, all I
That is
gotta
true.
say is that I told them we were gonna, all three of us were gonna work together. I knew that was gonna happen. At first, they were like, "Do we really want to work and live together?" I love them. I love their presence. I like to be with my people all the time. The other salon that I worked at, I brought in like 12 people. I just love working with my friends. So then Leda was like, "Okay, for like, you want to be an assistant? We need to find another receptionist." I got May in. Then Leda goes, "You want to be a stylist? We need to find an assistant." I got Becca in.
Yep.
Y'all, if
That
I
is
could
how
bring
it
more
went.
people in right now, I
That is
would.
how it went.
Okay,
I
and we
would.
are, you guys,
We are looking
right
for
now, what we're
assistants.
looking for, we are looking for
Licensed.
1 to 2
Licensed.
assistants that are licensed or about to be licensed. Okay. I also have so on the bottom floor is Tone Hair Salon. And then upstairs, I have rooms and I am looking for 2 renters upstairs. So just so you guys know that, if you are interested in either renting a room or an assistant position, just call our salon, Tone Hair
Please.
Salon.
Yes,
I need
please.
to get on the
Your
floor,
roommate to our
please.
realtor the other day when we were touring apartments. She was like, "Yeah, I actually." Have
She was like, "I'm an assistant."
I'm weak.
Oh, really?
We're like, "Oh, we have a room upstairs."
She was like, "I told her someone we're hiring."
I love how we did that because today at my tour, I was telling the girl she got curly hair. I said, we got a curly hair specialist at our
No,
salon.
for
Oh, we'd be
real.
talking about Tone Hair Salon every time we went on the tour.
literally do.
We're like, we're at Tone Hair Salon. They're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this one lady yesterday, she was like, oh, Tone Hair Salon, like the ones that look like the townhouses." I was like,
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
It's
my-
honestly so cool to know that like people know you without you knowing that they
well,
know.
I
you.
want to talk about Solomon. How are you doing on time? Good. There. So,
Let us know if we're yapping too much.
last week, some days, like as a content creator, influencer, salon owner, I have my ups and downs, and not every day is perfect. There are days where I'm just like, should I just shut it all down and just go live in a hole or in the Caribbean, and just say F it. But then it's like moments like that. And somebody comes up to us. We were sitting at the table at Piper's.
Mhm.
Yes.
And me, Kaylin, and Drika were there first. And the waitress was like, she was really sweet. She was acting fine. And then she went to the back, came back with our drinks, and she looked at me and she goes, are you do you own Tone Hair Salon? And I was like, yes. She goes, are you Leda? I'm like, yeah. She was like, oh my God, I've been watching you for years and I'm saving up for the Swan method. I want the extensions in my hair. And I was like, oh my God. So like, it's not all for nothing. Some days I do feel like that, you know?
I told you it's never. I always tell Lita it's not all for nothing because here I am. Like I started watching her back in 2020.
Yeah.
I started watching you before I even graduated high school. Before anything, like you and another stylist were the reasons why I chose to go to beauty school. I would see your videos and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually so interesting. This is actually so cool. And like you would hear, like you could ask me and Becca in the beginning. Lita misspelled my name when she hired me. She texted me.
yes.
She was
hey,
freaking out.
Can you come in at this time tomorrow?
I called her a different name.
She called me a different name. I cried. I literally dropped on the floor and I was like, I didn't get the job. I knew it. I didn't get the job. May and Becca were like, Perla, stop it. Like, you got the job.
I had the phone in my hand, and then I was like, wait, it's edited. It's changed.
Yes,
That
you
was
edited it right
That
after.
was good. That
She
was
edited
good.
it right after. Yes, you edited. Like,
You
I
did.
was crying.
It's changed.
I was literally.
That was nice. That was nice how that
Yes.
happened.
No, in the moment I was like, oh, what if she didn't even want me? Like I was her second choice. Like I felt it was horrible. It was a very traumatic
we
moment
need to
for me in
find
that
that
moment.
screen. We need to get a screenshot of that.
Yeah,
Go all the way back up to the text, the first text that Lita
the
sent.
first messages
No,
from
be
us.
like, hello, Perla.
It
or
was like
something.
hello blank. It was the name of the other person, and then she was like, "Can you come in tomorrow to shadow?" And then that's in that moment I was like, I didn't make it.
You know what,
But
though?
that being
I
said,
feel like moving forward, I'm going to start doing that to every single new
if you
hire.
do, no, it's an emotional distress. I don't
It's
recommend
traumatizing.
it.
That is definitely
It's really not
traumatizing.
cute. It was not. I was about to cry. I was about to cry. That being said, you inspired me. You and another stylist inspired me to become this person. You never know who we're inspiring out there.
Yeah,
And I just know,
true.
even at when we went to Paul Mitchell to like talk to the people, when I was talking to these two girls, they're Latinas, and they asked me, they were like, do you feel like there's any difficulty with the fact that you're Latina and like working in a place that there's not many Latinas? I was like, actually, girl, I don't think you know this. I don't know if you know this, but Latinas need like their hair done as much as everybody else. And we Latinas are loyal. I'm loyal. I still go to the same girl in New York for my brows. I will hold it off. I will somehow figure it out for me to get my brows done in New York with my girl. Like Latinas are very much loyal to their stylist. So at the end of the day, doesn't matter what part in the industry you're in, there will always be a person for you. There will always be people for you. And that's the part that scares us the most. We're always thinking that when we're having a fresh start, oh, we're not going to make it. We're not going to figure it out. Yes, we will. Like we figured it out with absolutely nothing. I had $20 in my bank account when I got hired. And I was like, yeah, I have another option. No, they didn't. I wasn't going to tell her that she was my first choice. But I still got the job. You know, you still got to play smart. Lita was like, oh, so how's the other job interview? I was like, great. They gave me this great opportunity. No, they didn't. I didn't even have the interview. But you got to lie. You got to do what you got to do.
I just like when I have a video of this, and I'll send this one to Solomon to insert, but I had all these resumes and I had to like throw it up in the air. Like literally it was with Kaylin. So I'm just gonna throw it up in the air because I don't know who. I had such good candidates, but I
Let's
kept
find
going
them
back to
again.
Perla. I kept going back to Perla,
We actually
and then I
helped.
picked up the paper,
We did.
Please.
and it was
I'd
Perla.
say we helped you.
All right, Drake. And now, what about you? How did you find?
Oh
Tone
yeah,
Hair
you
Salon?
never. we don't even know your story and how you
I remember
exactly
it
It's
found
not
out.
really a story. But no, I graduated and I looked for salons and Leda was one of them and I liked it and I went with it.
It's a great story.
Yeah.
Great story. Short
But,
story.
I mean,
Yeah,
that
the
is
whole
exactly what
podcast
happened.
just on that.
I said I wanted to learn extensions and I also wanted to
You
go
almost-
somewhere that didn't have a long what's the program called?
Assistant
program. And well, behold, that was it.
Yeah.
I said, well, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny, her email. I remember her email was just saying, yeah, I really just want to focus on extensions. And then she didn't even learn the Swan method for like another
Yeah, I know.
year.
Year and a
Until she
half,
saw
until
them in
now.
me.
So I just felt like, I don't know. Cause I was like,
You got your
Look at
example
me.
of
Yo,
yours.
yes.
Yeah.
Can you tell that Becca's using the Swan method right now? Be for real.
in.
That's
But
so funny.
no, yeah, I just I started with a whole different career, and then we already talked about me on the previous podcast, but
It's been a while.
I
And
started.
it's a new podcast.
Yeah, it's a new
not the same
podcast.
one. Whatever it was,
That
it's
is true.
not
This
today.
is renewed,
Reinvented.
reinvented. Yes.
Relaunch.
I started in healthcare. So I was in healthcare for about 5 years. I'm a little bit older than what I look like. And then I always knew I wanted to do hair and be in that makeup like industry and stuff. But I've always done hair and makeup anyways, like to my friends and myself. I was dressed to the T, hair nice, being working in healthcare. And so then I was like, let me just go because I have time. And I went to night school and I finished 18 months later. And I was like, I started doing hair and I was like, I'm doing better in hair than healthcare, even though I was doing good in both. But it was less stress and more flexible hours. So I liked it and I stayed and stuck with it. So I enjoy it.
Do you ever miss working in the healthcare?
I do, yeah, sometimes.
I feel like
but
the good
I talk
thing
about
is-
it. It's the same thing. It's the same concept, like customer care and taking care of the person and your client versus your patient. So I sometimes call my clients patients on accident.
Yeah.
But
Well, especially our
That's
dematting
what-
clients.
that was
Like,
my
I
next
can
point.
that really makes me more comfortable. Like it makes me reminisce more when I'm with the dematting clients. And that's why I do enjoy the demattings, not just, for everything else, but just the connection.
Mhm.
The like, and especially because they're normally because of like health reasons that I just enjoy it. So I'm like, I like to hear their story and their background and all of that. So
Well, I think it's a plus too when we have the demattings going on that you do have a medical background, because a lot of these people have either been bedridden, so they've been in the medical industry, and they can tell us their side of things. But also a lot of them are like depressed and have a lot of mental,
yeah,
you know.
exactly. Which I can
Problems.
relate and all of that. But healthcare is always a good industry to be in, just like hair. It's never gonna go away. So
Yep.
I can always go back if I wanted to, but that's not what I want to.
I
so.
mean, you could always incorporate it. Like,
And that
there
is
are other
exactly-
options. Like we were talking about. What were we saying?
I have
about?
a lot of plans in my mind, like going to the nursing home. They have a salon in there where they only have the stylist for like 1 or 2 days to do all the clients. So that's another side gig that I could do if I ever wanted to. Just going and bringing in like volunteering at the healthcare places and doing care and stuff. So it's like a lot of ways that I can do both. So
I think
I'm
what
looking
we should
forward to
do,
it.
you know what would be really cool?
Mhm.
Is, how we talked about like donating our time and doing the demattings? What if somehow we could get into hospitals and just like comb out,
And
like
braid
maybe like
them?
they don't have it matted
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, that's
just
kind of like
braid
what
them.
me and Kellen was saying that one time, like going up there and then giving like free combs and maybe asking if they want us to do a little style for them. Almost like, how when you go to like fairs and they have like painters come in, like
Like
vendors.
Now that I
painters
can
and
see.
stuff,
I think
yeah.
when you guys were chatting, I thought you guys were talking about no, she did say like donating combs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the way maybe she said
She's-
it, but
I was like,
Honestly,
when Caitlin tells me, she's like, I have an idea, but I've had a couple drinks, so I'm not sure if it's a good idea. I can always tell you it's never a good idea, but I love to listen to it. I'm like, God, Caitlin, tell me, let me know. And it's always something that's
And the crazy thing is, I come up with my best ideas when I'm
Far
drunk,
off.
Probably, like I come up with my
So
best
do
ideas.
I.
Like I'd be like, oh, it just like it clicked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Caitlin,
no, I don't trust
Caitlin's I'm just
myself.
like, Caitlin.
No, honestly, I will say I was not in the healthcare industry at all, but I've always taken care of the people that I love around me. And my sisters, you guys know I love you. I've taken care of both of them as they've had health issues. There's no wood around here, but knock on wood that nothing happens to me. But I've been the one sister that hasn't gone through anything. When my sister had cancer, I would stay in the hospital with her every single day.
I didn't know your sister had cancer.
Yeah, she had a very rare cancer. It was molar pregnancy cancer. Only 5% of women in the United States get it. She's good now, thankfully. She went through the cancer though. While she was going through it, I would see a lot of people who families, friends, they wouldn't have anyone. they would not have anyone. And
Yeah.
there I was with my sister every single night, every single day.
Mhm.
I was there for my sister.
Mhm.
So the fact
That's
that
really good that
if
you were
we
there
could
for
do
her.
something for people,
Mhm.
it's very touching because we don't know
Yeah.
what people need.
Like,
And
I love, that's the main thing. Like I love, like I really do miss, like, because I didn't have grandparents, so it was just like my mom and my sisters, and they were taking care of me really when I got sick. But that was after the fact. But I went to school because I don't know. I just always liked helping my great grandma when she was alive, and when she passed, like she passed in the nursing home, and I feel like they didn't give her all the care that she needed.
Mhm.
So it kind of just made me think, like I started doing volunteer work and like getting into that, and then I went and became a PCA because you can do that without any licensing and stuff. And then I became a CNA, and then I went to school and did healthcare management, and then I came back out and I did like med aid and all that stuff. But those things right there just makes me feel so much like pleasure, like, and like warmth in my heart, because it's just like nobody's there. Yeah, like it's very rewarding. That's what I liked about it. Like, even though this is very rewarding, I feel like it was very more rewarding because they were older, and it's like
And
babies.
in a way, it's like
Yes.
you're the
It's like
person that you
babies,
wish
like
your
literally.
grandma had.
No, literally.
Yeah, like yeah. Don't make me start thinking of
No.
tear up about some of my residents.
The waterworks are coming.
No,
Yes.
stop. And then don't say that. You can't tell nobody.
if
they're
you
gonna
told
come.
Drika, never mind.
Don't
That's what I'm saying. Don't do that.
Let
do
me
it.
not. Let me not.
Because you've
See,
done
this
it to
is the
me.
problem.
Well, let
This
me
is the
throw 'em
problem of me
back.
being the youngest sister. If I see something that could be triggered by words, I'll say them.
I
She
know,
will.
and trust me,
She
my
will.
sisters
Trust
and my
me.
mama would do that. Like, oh, you about to
She
cry? You about to
will.
cry? And that's
Yeah.
I
She
used to
told
tell
me
my
to
sister,
cry,
I used to tell my
cry.
sister, I'd be like, she's like, Perla, don't talk to me like that, or I'll start crying. I'd be like, prove me. Cry. Start crying right now. Anyways.
You did that to me.
I love girls. I
Little
love the
evil.
fact that we are such like girl community. I love that of the salon.
Shaking her head.
Guys, I'm not evil. I'm just a younger sister. Younger
Yeah, that's
siblings
what-
will
that's-
understand.
Yeah, I'm a
Younger
middle
siblings-
child, so I got all the.
It's not
I'm a younger
demonic.
sibling.
the younger.
I'm not
Never
that
mind, my
evil.
sister watching. I love you, Nikki.
I said, I'm a younger sibling. I'm not that
When you see
evil.
something and like you get caught and you're like trying to cover your
With
face
your
with
little
your
face.
face. It's just a younger sibling in me. Like I hear you and like Kaylin, just like when Kaylin were fighting on like who's your favorite, and Kaylin's like, I'm the favorite. I'm this girl. Don't tell me that because I will keep it. I will continue poking it because my sister used to say the same thing to my mom. So it's just very easy for me to just get to your head. I'm the younger sister.
Terrible.
And I love it. It's so hard at home.
Mhm.
It's so hard to like at home because it's like the three of us are different.
But they
ages.
never like to be poked though back.
No, I'm
Because
okay
that's how
with
my
it.
little sister.
I'll be okay with it, but I'll still say something back as you're saying it. I just will not stay quiet. Like that's my problem.
Bad.
It's so hard for me to stay
Do you
quiet.
care? I steal one?
No, I don't at all.
Well, yeah.
Anyways,
I'm not.
let me go back to my little
Okay,
list.
it ain't mine. It ain't mine. But yes,
Man,
go
you're
ahead.
just so beautiful that like I cannot. Okay, so let's talk. Well, we kind of already talked about our horror stories.
Well,
Like,
should
you
we
already
do,
went through
Solomon,
that.
should we cut this one and go into the next
Yeah, I
one?
was like, I
or-
think
How
we were
long
pretty
has it
long
been?
on
Like-
this one.